through my glass. So when my windshield cracked, it had to be fixed right. I scheduled with Safelite Auto Glass. Their experts replaced my windshield and recalibrated my car's advanced safety system. Safelite is the one I trust. They focus on safety, so I can focus on this view.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
I'm here for you.
I'm Nora O'Donnell with the CSED News.
For all of your screen needs, call Christian Metal Screens.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12, first at 4.
The city of Augusta working to better fight opioid addiction, and it could be as easy as grabbing chips from a vending machine. But first, we're just learning a former Augusta University basketball player was shot and killed. Investigators say right after Christmas, 27-year-old Tyvez Monroe was sitting at a bus stop outside of a D.C. bus stop when Deontay Spicer, a 36-year-old, approached him with an unleashed dog before 4:30 in the morning. Video shows them exchanging fist bumps. They talked for a few minutes before Spicer unzipped his jacket and pulled out an AR-15, shooting him. AU men's basketball coach Dick Metris praised Monroe for his competitive spirit. Monroe's funeral will be Saturday, January 13th at 10 a.m. at Shiloh Baptist Church up in Virginia. But we are reaching out to our sister station up in D.C. We're going to follow this story and bring you the latest as soon as we get it. Outside, another chilly day, Emily.
Yeah, definitely on the colder side. Monday, we kind of had a nice day with temperatures reaching the 60s, but the past couple of days, it's been a lot colder than that. But I want to take a look at our radar scans, and this is actually coming from our local radar that we are seeing not a lot of rainfall. Now, if you might check your phone app, that might show a little bit more rain, but it's actually not making it to the ground. But what you're seeing behind me is so a little bit more outside of the Augusta area, seeing some rainfall, but nonetheless, we will all probably see rain over the next couple of hours. So rain chances are staying in the picture for the evening. So if you have any evening plans, definitely bring a rain jacket. Not expecting a washout or anything to cancel plans for, but just know there could be a few showers for your evening commute. Or if you have any plans after work today, again, could see a few showers there, but we'll drop off quickly overnight tonight. I'm expecting us to see lows in the lower 30s, so not quite as cold as what we saw last night. Last night we actually hit 24 in Bushfield, so a very cold start to our day. We really haven't warmed up too much, but another cold night in store for us. Definitely need to turn on the heat there, but let's go ahead and take a look at your first alert traffic.
And now, first alert traffic.
Here we are in Grovetown. Things are moving smoothly. Again, we are at the 4 p.m. hour, so things are going to start to pick up in about an hour or so, but no delays there over in Grovetown, so that's some good news. But I'll have another look at your forecast, including your 7-day and some chances of rain coming up soon.
All right, thanks, Emily. Augusta Mayor Garnett Johnson wants to take a creative approach when it comes to opioid treatment. He wants to bring vending machines full of Narcan to our area for the first time to make those life-saving overdose drugs a lot easier to access. Our Craig Allison spoke with Mayor Johnson. So, Craig, this is from opioid settlement money. So how much are we talking for this project?
The money coming in is to the tune of more than $7 million in 2 settlements over the course of 18 years. So far, the city has already gotten almost $700,000 of that money that needs action to move forward. Mayor Garnett Johnson said in his State of the City yesterday, some of the settlement money would be used for those drug recovery vending machines. He says they could be seen in nightclubs, hotel lobbies, and other spots where he believes drug users have a high presence. But while they say they have the money, anything approved by the city goes through the Department of Public Health to move forward. We talked to a doctor who works with people battling addiction, who says treatment centers really could use the money, and here's what the mayor's response was to that.
They are desperate to get it, and I can attest the money is in our account, so we do have the money, but we just need to take action as the mayor's office and the commission. And I tell you, here coming in the coming weeks, we'll make sure that we get action taken by putting an agenda item together to take a look at the dollars and see how we best proceed with those settlement dollars that we've already received.
All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock. We'll also hear from Dr. Marshall Better at the Augusta VA on his thoughts on how to use the money and how to have a seat at the table during those talks.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Definitely keep us posted when those vending machines are finally approved. The Charleston County Sheriff's Office has one of these already in place. The machine gives free Narcan to people released from the jail to help prevent drug overdoses. The Sheriff's Office says those that are in alcohol and drug programs will be counseled on how to use it. The machine is stocked with 54 boxes of Narcan. U.S. Senator John Ossoff's bill authorizing upgrades to Fort Eisenhower's Cyber Center of Excellence just signed into law by President Joe Biden. That means the construction of new classrooms in the Cyber Center to help address the rapid advancement of cybersecurity threats are a go. The law also gives more funding to the Department of Defense to modernize the center and make it a better place to work for all of our cyber warriors. President Joe Biden will be in South Carolina Monday. It's a push to highlight what the campaign calls the high stakes of the upcoming election. He'll be speaking at Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston, which you may recognize. That was the site of a racist, deadly mass shooting that happened back in 2015. Georgia's electronic voting. A South Carolina lawmaker has pre-filed a bill he says will help alleviate the affordable housing crisis. The bill, known as House Bill 4544, will allow churches to build affordable housing without being taxed. Representative Wendell Jones says there's an affordable housing shortage in every county of South Carolina, as well as an uptick in rent. Seeing that churches are already tax exempt, the bill would allow them to provide land for projects, which in turn would bring the cost of building affordable housing down, making it easier to create those projects.
Citizens in South Carolina get to advocate too. You get to call the chairpersons of those committees. You get to call your local officials and say, I really support this bill and I need you to support this bill. Our goal is to be representatives, to represent the desires of the people.
He says it will be a long process before the bill makes it to the Senate, but we'll certainly keep you posted. Also at the State House, lawmakers expected to take up a bill centered around the long-debated lack of a hate crime law. It's sitting in the Senate. There's also a bill on the table to allow people to carry loaded, concealed guns without a permit or training. Another to legalize medical marijuana, which failed to get enough votes last session for a debate. The General Assembly is set to convene next Tuesday. It's a way to fight crime better and faster. At least that's what law enforcement says. Up next, we're going to show you how one Georgia law enforcement agency is taking to the sky to catch bad guys.
Well, we're sitting in those upper 40s right now. Very cold for our day, but rain is in the near future. I'll let you know when, coming up.
Rent prices are rising all across the state and right here in Augusta. But all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're breaking down the help that's right here for those in need.
Let us show you what we can do for you on air and online. For more information, visit wrdw.com/advertise.
How fast can you get your money? 99.
Outside, we are starting to track the threat of some rain. Emily, what can you tell us?
Yeah, we definitely are, Laura. Today has been very gloomy, overcast. It almost looks like it could rain at any moment, and that's what we're tracking, seeing some rain on the radar. But I want to take a quick look at temperatures right now, sitting in the upper 40s. So a cold day in store for us. Again, I hope that you have lots of layers on, maybe indoors throughout most of the day today, because it has been a little bit on the dreary side, but the rain is moving in officially. So here's a big view of the system that we're dealing with. Some heavy showers over the western part of the state of Georgia, moving through Alabama, even more behind that, having a little bit of a wintry mix over in the Tennessee Valley, but again, not expecting any winter weather for us here in the CSRA, just some light rainfall, and not even all of us are seeing rainfall just yet. So here's a bigger view on the radar of what it is showing. Some moisture, I can say, but not all of this is making it to the ground. So only portions of that of us are seeing some rainfall. It's really more in our western part of the CSRA, but that's eventually going to move out overnight. We're going to see lows in the lower 30s, so not quite as cold as what we saw this morning, because we saw the middle 20s, right around 24 at Bush Field today. So that was kind of on average in those 20s. We'll warm up into the 50s tomorrow afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, a great day for our Thursday. Friday, not looking too bad either, but rain is coming into the picture come Saturday. So big view of that. Again, rain's moving out moving through as we speak. We'll be out of our hair overnight tonight. Sunny skies for our Thursday and Friday. Saturday, though, really, I could say late overnight Friday, in the early morning hours Saturday. That's when we can expect to see some widespread rainfall for us here in the CSRA, but should be out of our hair for the late afternoon hours and then definitely by the evening and overnight. So Sunday, not looking bad for us at all. But again, we have three systems that we're watching right now. The one that's moving through right now, just some light rainfall. Again, probably not all of us are going to see rain, expecting rain totals right around 1/4 of an inch. But then we have Saturday where we could see up to an inch of rainfall. That's going to be a little bit more prolonged and heavier and characteristic there. And then once we get into the beginning of next week, I haven't mentioned this, but next Tuesday, that's when we could see some heavy rainfall, some stronger winds, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms there. So I'll probably go ahead and step off so you can read all of this, but that's when we could see greater than an inch of rainfall, probably even closer to 2 inches of rain. Again, that's going to come next Tuesday. So 3 chances of rain over the next 7 days, but one of them is coming and going, so we can kind of go ahead and mark that one off. But once we get to Saturday, rainfall in the morning, clearing out for the later afternoon. Sunday, Monday, not looking too bad, just a little bit breezy out there. But Tuesday, that's when we could see a couple of thunderstorms. So it's January. This is not uncommon to see thunderstorms start to develop this time of year, but we'll be getting through it. High temperatures staying pretty steady in those middle and upper 50s and low 60s this week.
Okay, thanks, Emily. Drones are changing policing. Hundreds of agencies already use the technology, but a few agencies are also using them to answer emergency calls now. Mark Strassman visited one community near Atlanta to see them at work and learn how police are responding to privacy concerns.
This is 911. What's the address?
On the edge of Atlanta, a 911 call. Check on a suspicious person.
All right, launch it.
In Brookhaven, Georgia, the police first responder, a drone, racing by air to answer the call along with patrol officers in cruisers.
It allows us to either escalate a police response or de-escalate it based on the things that we're seeing here in the camera view.
Lieutenant Abram Ayana led the launch of the department's DFR program 2 years ago. DFR for Drone First Responder. The drones don't patrol, they respond. It's aerial intelligence relaying visuals about fast-changing circumstances on the ground.
Where he stopped, right there.
To officers flying the drones and communicating with patrol units.
Do me a favor, just put both your hands on the steering wheel.
Even on a routine traffic stop, the drone becomes their backup.
There's a relief that I know someone else is still looking after me. I don't actually have a physical backup.
A big advantage, response time. On the ground, Brookhaven police typically need 4.5 minutes to respond to an emergency call. But by drone, without having to mess with traffic, in the vast majority of cases, that response time drops to 90 seconds.
The drone's there.
Ayana showed us how that quick response has paid off.
Get on the ground.
As this officer arrested an armed robbery suspect, a second suspect inside the store panicked.
They'll run out the back of the CVS, has no idea that there's a drone above him. He jumps another fence, he runs, jumps several more fences.
The drone led officers right to him.
And there he is appearing now. And he was captured without incident, with a fraction of the time and a fraction of the resources that otherwise would have been expended.
Brookhaven's police department is young, only a decade old. This drone program might not fly in much of America.
A lot of police agencies have a tougher time because they have to deal with issues around privacy and transparency.
Trust.
Trust is a big thing. Trust is a big thing. We don't use drones in Brookhaven as a crime control tactic, and that removes any concern for profiling or any of those concerns about policing certain areas and certain demographics differently.
With a bird's eye view, suspects still can run, but they can't hide. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Brookhaven, Georgia.
And several law enforcement agencies here at home already use drones when it comes to fighting crime. We're all just one click away from being scammed, and those scams are getting more sophisticated. Coming up, the latest target and what you can do to protect yourself.
Here at the Edgefield Butcher Shop.
Call 1-800
1-800-673-7570 for your free information and your free beneficiary planner. That's 1-800-673-7570. There's no obligation. 1-800-673-7570. Call now.
Fraudsters target people of all ages, but new research by the Better Business Bureau's Institute for Marketplace Trust examines a significant increase in the dollar amount young adults are losing to scams. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Carice Jackman speaks with the experts about the warning signs.
From fake checks to cryptocurrency, the Better Business Bureau says scammers have their eyes set on targeting our youth.
They grew up with the internet. They're not as skeptical as most of us are. And unfortunately, this age group is giving their money a little bit more than anybody else.
According to a new BBB Scam Tracker report, about 43% of employment scams reported by 18 to 24-year-olds mention fake checks. Scammers often ask their targets to deposit a check and transfer funds to another person or account. By the time the person realizes the check is fake, it's too late. McGovern says many young adults, specifically Gen Zers, don't know or remember how a check actually works.
They might not know what a check is or how it works or, how much information is on a check that could get people into trouble, that all routing numbers are the same for the bank. We had a report once of a person who said that the check was emailed to them. Checks are not emailed. Checks need to be physically in your hand. So again, having those conversations about payment methods with younger adults, really important.
In addition to fake check scams, reshipping schemes also top the list. According to the report, about 90% of employment scam reports from victims between 18 and 24 years old involved inspecting or reshipping packages. Scammers ask their target to receive and reship products, sometimes illegally.
They'll do a couple of jobs for the scammer, get paid a little bit, keep doing these reshipping jobs, and then all of a sudden they're not getting paid anymore. And in some cases, what they're reshipping could be stolen goods.
Cryptocurrency and investment scams with young adults are also on the rise.
We know there are a lot of people get confused about how does crypto work. So if you get an investment opportunity from a friend on social media, reach out to that friend off that platform and say, hey, is this really you? Did this really work? It goes back to if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
So if you're a young adult, make sure you pay attention to the warning signs, red flags, and before you agree to a job or send any kind of money or information about yourself, do your homework. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
In addition to employment scams, the BBB says online purchase scams ranked among the top 3 riskiest for all age groups, and it was the number 2 riskiest for young adults. Okay, check your fridge. Thousands of pounds of ground beef contaminated with E. coli. It's being recalled. The USDA says these products were produced by Valley Meats on December 22nd. The packaging has the establishment number of EST 5712. The USDA says they discovered the E. coli contamination during routine testing. They believe the products are still in freezers and refrigerators, so throw it away immediately or you can return it to the store for a refund. Another cold overnight for us, but not quite as cold as what we've seen. We're going to be in those lower 30s, but I'll have another check on your 7-day coming up.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Is your home out?
I
don't know.
Because it didn't call my dad.
Well, we reached the upper 40s this afternoon, so a very cold day for us. Overcast throughout the greater part of the day. Rain is starting to move in slowly but surely, but shouldn't cause us too many issues out there. But overnight, we're going to cool off even more, expecting to see lows in the lower 30s. So very cold night in store, overcast for us. That's why we're not going to get quite as cold as what we saw this morning, which was right around 24. So it's January, feels like it definitely. Tomorrow, though, plenty of sunshine for us. We'll warm up into those middle
50s, so a drastic difference from what we saw today. Definitely going to feel a lot better out there for our Thursday, Friday. Not looking too bad either, but rain is in the forecast. And I know that we're tracking rain right now, slowly but surely moving in, but we have more widespread, heavier rainfall, expecting anywhere from 1 to maybe 1.5 inches come Saturday. But that should be out of our hair for the afternoon. So again, really just focusing on that rainfall for the early morning hours, but also keeping an eye on next Tuesday. We could see some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms. And I know that sounds kind of weird in January, but it's actually not uncommon for us to see some of those stronger thunderstorms, I should say, in January. And again, we're expecting that on Tuesday, but Wednesday things are looking better for us. Overall, not terrible week, but we do have some chances of rain, Laura.
All right, coming up, getting a first look at the statewide plan for training and certifying swim instructors.
When your door on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. With Kroger, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards, whether you shop in-store, pickup, or delivery. That's a win-win-win. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You're watching News 12, First at 4, continues.
A law created after the drowning of a Burke County 4-year-old is now in action. We're breaking down the state's plan in place to protect your child, their instructor, and even you. But before we get to that, we want to give you a live look outside and at the weather headlines coming up because we're starting to track some rain. We want to send it to First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton with what we can expect.
Yeah, Laura, I'm looking at conditions for us. There we go, behind us. But we have reached those upper 40s this afternoon. Cold start to the day, though, so it's been a struggle to see those upper 40s. We are right at around 48. Started off at 24, so a very cold start to our Wednesday. I was thinking it was Tuesday. To our Wednesday, but tracking rainfall. That's really the big picture for this evening. And good news is not all of this is actually making it to the ground. A lot of it is evaporating before it even reaches us down here. So again, not all of us are seeing that rainfall just yet, but a little bit heavier over in the western part of the CSRA, over in like Warrenton, Washington. That's where they're seeing some of that rainfall. So that's actually with our local radar here getting the best scans for you guys, and that's what's actually making it to the ground. So again, we just saw all of that blue and green around. Not all of that's making it to the ground, just really over in the western part of the CSRA. But it's moving slowly but surely. We could all see a couple of sprinkles before the day is said and done, but that's not our only chance of rain. I'll let you know the other 2 chances of rain coming up soon. But first, let's take a look at your First Alert traffic.
And now, First Alert traffic.
We're looking in Grovetown, not having too much of a delay there, but a little bit of traffic starting to back up onto I-20. Again, this is at the Grovetown exit, seeing a little bit of traffic starting to build up there. But as we approach the 5 o'clock hour, we know things will definitely start to pick up. But looking at Riverwatch at I-20, not seeing any issues there. So that's some good news to start off your end commute to our Wednesday. So not seeing any issues again traffic-wise, but I'll have another look at your forecast coming up soon.
Okay, thanks for that, Emily. With the new year comes the deadline for a statewide plan aimed at helping your child stay safe while learning to swim. It's in honor of Izzy Scott, a 4-year-old who drowned on his second day of swim lessons at a private pool in Burke County. Our Hallie Turner joins us in the studio with how the law calls on more restrictions and guidance for private swim instructors.
Yeah, Laura, these pictures behind me are 4-year-old Izzy Scott right before the unthinkable happened. And when he drowned, Georgia did not have any regulations on ratios of students to teachers for private lessons. But his death sparked a new fight for private swimming lesson regulations. And this new plan requires ratios and allows parents to be more involved. The plan lays out requirements that were never in place when Izzy was in swim school. Now there are teacher-to-student ratios, and here are the regulations for beginner-level children under the age of 6. If they cannot enter the water, float, tread water, there will be one instructor for every 4 students. If the student can do those things, but is still under the age of 6, the ratio changes for 1 teacher for every 6 students. And it continues to change as skills develop the older the child is. It requires secondary supervision, like a lifeguard or a second second swim instructor, and CPR certification. But for one mother, the most important requirement on the list is parent participation.
Having the parents there to just ensure safety will help. And then honestly, being able to be involved, I like to be involved. I'm involved in my kid's school. I know about what he's learning on a daily basis so I can continue it at home. And, you know, that way when I learn what he's learning about with math, then at home we can work on his math. So if I know what's proper, like swimming tactics and safety things he's being taught at his swim lessons, then that's stuff that I can be sure is happening when we go to the pool.
Now, coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, Haley talks about why this plan is so important for her family, and we'll hear what the Department of Public Health has to say about these regulations.
Okay, big changes spurred on by News 12 coverage as well. Haley, thanks for digging into that. Former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is asking a federal appeals court to reconsider. They rejected his request to move his Georgia election interference criminal case to federal court. The request comes after the Court of Appeals ruled his conduct was not related to his official duties in the Trump administration. Moving the case to federal court could allow Meadows to get the charges dismissed altogether by invoking federal immunity. Meadows, Trump, and several others were indicted by Fulton County prosecutors on charges they tried to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Meadows has pleaded not guilty. The new judge handling the fallout of convicted killer Alec Murdaugh will hold a hearing later this month. Murdaugh's lawyers requested a new trial based on allegations the court clerk improperly influenced the jury in the case of his wife and son's murders. That evidentiary hearing, that's expected to begin January 29th. Jurors and the previous judge, Clifton Newman, may have to testify under oath at the hearing. That hearing will take place in Columbia. Also today, an order from the South Carolina Supreme Court saying any new filings for Murdaugh's appeal must be filed with the Supreme Court, not Colleton County. Augusta's Homeless Task Force asking for volunteers. They need your help. It's to kick off their annual point-in-time count. That's from January 22nd through the 31st. They need people from all across the area to help survey Augusta's homeless population. If you'd like to help out, just hit this flow code on your screen. It'll take you to our website where we have the sign-up sheet. One of the fastest growing counties in the state of Georgia and the country is looking for fire crews to add to the roster. Columbia County Fire Rescue will be holding 2 hiring fairs. It's a chance to give hopefuls a chance to ask about training, job duties, even career advancement. You can also tour the station. You can see all the equipment they use when they respond to your emergency calls. We spoke with Deputy Chief Jimmy Pascal about the push to get more bodies in county fire stations.
Having fulfillment of serving a need for your fellow citizen. Of course, we have benefits, health benefits, retirement benefits, and stuff like that also.
And if you're interested, the first hiring fair is this Saturday. It's from 9 to 2 at Columbia County Fire Rescue Headquarters. That's on DeSoto Drive. The next will be the same time and place, January 11th. Families are welcome to come with candidates as well. Bring the kids, let them see the fire trucks, get excited for mom or dad's future career. It's official, Aiken High School's new auditorium is complete. They're going to cut the ribbon on that tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the campus. It was built with East Blast funds. That's the 1-cent sales tax you pay every time you make a purchase in Aiken County. Americans' reliance on credit cards and their high balances have carried into the new year. What does that mean for the overall economy? And for those who have made financial resolutions, where can they start to pare down that credit card debt? Karen Cava has the details.
For millions of Americans, lingering credit card debt follow their finances into the new year.
Even if it just happened over the holidays or it happened over the last couple of years, you need to get rid of that debt.
Americans' collective credit card balances soared to a new high of more than $1 trillion in 2023, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Meanwhile, the average interest rates for credit cards spiked at more than 22% in 2023, amid the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes to curb inflation. And while debt can feel isolating, households with credit card debt aren't an exception right now, according to consumer finance analyst Beverly Harzog, despite more promising economic numbers.
When inflation slows down, that just means that the rate of prices slows down as it's going up. It's still going up. And that's why so many are feeling the pinch of having not enough money to actually pay your monthly bills. And that's how a lot of people got into credit card debt.
Harzog says households can make a fresh start in the new year with 2 major first steps: creating a budget and tracking expenses.
Think of that as your financial foundation. You have those 2 things in place and you have control over how you spend your money.
Other key action items toward paying down debt, Harzog says: making a list of all credit card balances, and knowing your credit score as a starting point. In Washington, I'm Karen Kifa.
A South Carolina community coming together to remember a woman killed while serving her country 20 years ago. How she continues to help others when we return.
A gloomy day for us here in the CSRA. Some rain on the radar. I'll have a look at that coming up soon.
He has more than 40 years of experience in law enforcement, but now he's tackling something new, running for Columbia County Sheriff. All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're sitting down with Patrick Clayton to see what he says he'll bring to the table.
Welcome to Woodstock. I want to toss things over to Emily, and it was a...
Tune in to First at 4, Tuesdays and Thursdays for Grant Me Hope, as we help foster children find their forever home. No foster child is unadoptable. Grant Me Hope, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 on News 12.
I want to toss things over to Emily, and it was a frigid day. Very cold out there, Emily.
Yes, very cold start to our day. We started off in the low 20s, so very cold out there. We haven't warmed up too significantly, but we have warmed up, seeing those upper 40s this afternoon, but still very overcast skies, so pretty dreary out there, but rain is making its way in. Finally, it's looked like it's going to rain pretty much at any point today, but that rainfall is starting to move in as we speak, really for more of our western counties right now, tracking that rainfall, but it's going to continue to move eastward and through the CSRA, but overall, not expecting a lot of heavy rain with this system moving through. This is actually what's making it to the ground right now. So all of that rain that you were seeing earlier that was kind of spread over here, that was actually evaporating before it even made it to the ground. So this is kind of tracking a little bit more realistic of what you can see, again, just west of Augusta, starting to approach the city of Augusta, that rainfall there. But nonetheless, it's light in consistency for us. It's going to get out of here for the overnight hours at the start of our Thursday, looking dry. A little bit on the chillier side as well, going to be in those lower 30s, and then plenty of sunshine throughout the day. So we can expect to see those middle 50s in some spots, lower 50s in others. But again, plenty of sunshine for Thursday. Friday, not looking too bad either, but rain is still in the forecast for us. So once these showers move out of our area, clear and sunny Thursday. Friday looking really great until the later afternoon, really evening hours. That's when that cloud cover is going to come into play. But check out the rain over in Alabama. That's going to be tracking towards us here in the CSRA. So this is around 10:30 Friday night, just barely crossing the state line of Georgia, and then that's going to continue to push through. But the good news is, should be completely out of our hair. I'm not banking on 8 a.m., but probably by noon or 1, we should be in a lot better state there. So the showers should be completely out of our hair for the afternoon Saturday. So good news is the second half of the day, not looking so wet, but first half, definitely going to see some rain chances. And we're expecting anywhere from probably upwards of 1 inch, or closer to 1 inch, I should say. But overall, next best chance of that widespread super heavy rainfall, that's going to come next Tuesday. So again, we've got the showers going on right now, getting out of our hair over the next hour or so, maybe a couple hours longer than that. But once we get into Saturday, that's going to come and go pretty quickly, dropping around 1 inch of rainfall. But next Tuesday, I'm going to step off here so you can see that, we're going to see some heavier rain, maybe even some stronger wind gusts. So some storms are possible, some thunderstorms. Again, that won't come until next Tuesday. So we have 3 chances of rain. One of them we're almost over and done with. But once we get to Saturday, those showers in the morning. Good news is, though, Thursday, Friday, don't want to skip over those. Could be mostly sunny or completely sunny for the afternoon. So great sky conditions for the end of our week. Not too bad Sunday and Monday either, but those chance of showers and maybe a couple thunderstorms come into play for our Tuesday, Laura.
All right, thanks, Emily. The Georgia Bulldogs closed the book on the 2023 season with a 60-point win over Florida State down in Miami. News 12 sports director Dan Booth joins us now to explain why winning the way they did could help them get off to a hot start next season.
Georgia's 63-3 victory over the Seminoles down in Miami is the largest margin of victory in bowl history, breaking the 58-point mark the Dogs set against TCU in the national championship last year. Now, when you think about how Georgia did not play up to their standard in the SEC championship game, it was clear that the Dogs went out on the field and wanted to send a message. By halftime, Georgia was up by so many points that Kirby Smart pulled his starters, plugging in his second, third, and fourth string players, helping these guys lower on the depth chart gain valuable experience that could carry over into the new year.
A lot of work and hard work, blood, sweat, and tears for this program, and getting to see them finally get their shine and their opportunity to play, it's a great thing.
It's a great springboard because we're going into the offseason with momentum. We're ready to work and we're ready to attack the day into the ground.
The expectations here are super high. The standard that we set is super high. So just continuing that, there's so many things that we can improve on going into next year with the 8-9 months that we have in the offseason.
Jalon Walker, Michael Williams, and Carson Beck will all be playing major roles for the Dogs next season on a team that is expected to once again be in the mix for a national championship.
The cost of living our lives online is going up just about everywhere. I'm Jamie Tucker, coming up which streaming service is raising prices and how you can still watch for free.
Amazon Prime customers, it's going to cost more soon to watch movies and shows on Prime Video. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker explains when and how much.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School. One of the best benefits of an Amazon Prime subscription is free movies and TV shows off of Amazon Prime Video. But that's going to cost you extra in 2024 unless you watch commercials. The Amazon price hike is $3 a month on top of the $139 a year Amazon Prime membership. This increase goes into effect January 29th. Subscribers who don't want to pay the extra charge will have to watch commercials before and during movies and shows. Now, Amazon is the latest in a string of services hiking prices. Max will soon charge an extra $1 a month for ad-free. Netflix stopped offering its cheapest ad-free plan and started promoting its ad-supported plan for $7 a month. And Disney raised prices for commercial-free subscribers by $3 a month. Cord cutters are also paying a great deal more than they did just a few years ago for live TV. The most popular streaming service, YouTube TV, raised the price of its cheapest plan by $8 a month, and Hulu with live TV costs $7 more a month than it did this time last year. The no ad version is now $90 a month. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you will need to opt in and pay that extra $2.99 a month or start watching commercials at the end of the month. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Well, we know kids of this generation don't even know what a commercial is, so that will be difficult for everyone. But about half of Amazon Prime subscribers pay monthly. Over a year, that's $180. They'll also pay more for that commercial-free TV. That would bring the cost to more than $200 a year. Captain Kimberly Hampton from Easley, South Carolina, made the old...
Still tracking rain this evening. It's slowly but surely moving well across the CSRA, but I'll have another check on your 7-day coming up soon.
And the holiday itself might be over, but you still have the chance to enjoy some Christmas lights while getting an education. We'll explain where coming up.
An important 37570. Call now.
If you're looking for something fun to do with the kids, Riverbank Zoo has more than 60 handcrafted lanterns scattered throughout the zoo. Pretty cool. Look at those. They look like plants or animals who are endangered, extinct, or some just make believe like that dragon there. But the lanterns are 3D. They light up. They interact. And you still have a chance to enjoy them. They're going to keep those up until January 14th. It was part of their Christmas celebration. So pretty neat if you can scoot over there. Only about an hour drive.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. It kind of is giving me a little bit of like a Disney World Animal Kingdom.
Yeah,
that's kind of what
great
I'm
zoo.
thinking.
If you haven't been there, even if you don't have kids, I mean, it really is. They do a great job.
Yeah, that looks really cool visuals there. I'd have to check that out. This afternoon, though, switching things over to weather, we've reached the upper 40s, but we're on the decline now. Rain is moving in, and we're quickly approaching sunset, so we're going to cool off pretty quickly over the next couple of hours, but not going to get quite as cold as what we saw this morning, which was in those lower 20s. So we're only going to see those lower 30s for the overnight. So a relatively cold start, but not as cold start to our Thursday for us. But plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon. So good news is we're going to warm up into those middle 50s in some spots. So plenty of sunshine, should feel a lot better than what we saw today. I was very cold pretty much all day today. So tomorrow, definitely looking forward to that. And Friday, not looking too bad either. Still going to see plenty of sunshine there, but rain chances do come into play Saturday early in the morning. That's when we're going to see our next chance of rainfall, but even after that, we're going to see rain next Tuesday. So kind of a rainy pattern, but at least we have a couple of breaks, Laura, between those days of rain.
All right, we will keep an eye on that. There's more news coming up first at 5.
Introducing the first alert.